Hello, friends. Welcome into Houston Texans Today by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey here with a look at several roster moves the Texans have made in the past 24 hours or so. Some significant changes going on here with Houston. The number one move, the most important one, most impactful one they've made so far, more recently, perhaps I should say there, Taywan Taylor, his time in Houston appears to be over. The Texans cut Taylor on Wednesday, ending his rather brief tenure with the organization and helping to provide some clarity as it relates to a rather deep wide receiver room in Houston. Of course, Brandon Cooks is going to remain the wide receiver one for Houston, but there's Nico Collins, Kiki Cutie, Anthony Miller, Chris Conley, Andre Roberts, Alex Erickson, Chris Moore, all guys who have played real snaps or were an early-round draft pick in Nico Collins' case in the NFL. That wide receiver battle is by no means over yet, especially as Andre Roberts remains a bit injured, which helps out Alex Erickson. So we'll see what ends up going down as it relates to the rest of that wide receiver room. But one domino has fallen with the release of Taywan Taylor. Now, other moves the Texans made as they are addicted to making major moves at the cornerback position. They've brought in Rasul Douglas. They signed him to the active roster. Douglas had just been released by the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Douglas is a known veteran corner who, unfortunately, if we're being blunt here, did not play well in 2020, even beyond the 60 tackles. Yeah, that looks good and all that. 9 pass breakups looks pretty good as well. When you look more beyond, you look at some of the more advanced metrics for Rasul Douglas. In 11 starts, by the way, he allowed over 63% completion percentage, 6 touchdowns, almost 800 yards. He was not very good, but he does provide veteran depth for a team that is still searching for some of that with Bradley Roby, likely or will be suspended to start the season. There was also a move that went along with the Douglas one. That was the trade of John Reid, the former 4th-round pick out of Penn State, lasted just 1 year as a member of the Houston Texans. He has been shipped off to the Seattle Seahawks. This is the 3rd time now that Houston has made a trade involving a cornerback, which is a pretty significant detail there for Houston. They, of course, shipped out John Reid. They shipped in Kadar Hallman from the Green Bay Packers, added him. Keon Crossan also went to the New York Giants. Now, Reid, in terms of the trade value, did not fetch very much. Of course, isn't a huge surprise. The Texans had revealed he was going to be cut. At that point, I guess Seattle got on the phone and said, hey, well, wait a minute. We'll make a trade for you. The Texans only get back a conditional 2023 7th-round pick. My assumption here is that those conditions are tied to just how long Reid is on the 53-man roster for Seattle. So now the updated cornerback depth chart here for Houston. Bradley Roby, Terrence Mitchell, Desmond King, Vernon Hargreaves. I assume that Kadar Hallman makes this team now. Otherwise, what's the point there? Rasul Douglas, of course, also a factor in that room. It's not a great unit, if we're being upfront honest. Frankly, this Texans team overall, not going to be that good. So predict the Texans' record for me this upcoming season. Get your votes in for me in the comment section. Remember, a 17-game season, so you do have to add one more game than the normal 16-game slate. Get your predictions in for me right now in the comments section.